So Blake Griffin and Andre Drummond, both within like an hour of each other, the news drops that they might leave their teams, get bought out, get traded, go to some contender. And how exciting would that be, right? I think both guys are going to get bought out. There's no way a team's going to trade for Andre Drummond or Blake Griffin unless it was the Celtics, who are a contender, who have the giant trade exception. But that would be a horrible idea for both of them. I don't think that Andre Drummond is worth the trade exception for the Boston Celtics. I mean, it would be the same as getting like a Al Horford with the trade exception. It just, it wouldn't really move the needle to win a championship. So I think that they're both going to get bought out. And what a buyout means, for some of you guys who don't know, a buyout is basically when a team and a veteran are on the same page. The veteran says, look, you guys are a crappy team. I'm a former all-star, whatever. I want to go somewhere and win. And they go, we understand. We're trying to go younger. We want to play our younger guys. So instead of just sitting on the bench, why don't we come to an agreement where we pay you a little less than you're going to get? And we'll pay you all of it right now. It'll be less. So it'll save us money and you can leave, right? And so Andre Drummond, the report by Woj said he doesn't want to be bought out. But I honestly don't think he has another choice. And then with Blake Griffin, he's one of the worst contracts in the NBA, him and Russell Westbrook. So I think that they're both going to get bought out if they want to go elsewhere and play for a contender. So the initial report said maybe the Raptors were going to get Andre Drummond. To me, that is just I was not excited when I saw that. Was anyone here who's not a Raptor fan excited when they saw that the Raptors might get Andre Drummond? I mean, I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, I know that they need a center. Aaron Baines, he's playing a little bit better than he was, but and they are in the playoff hunt right now. They're in the playoff position. But, I wanted to see Andre Drummond go to like the Nets, right? A team that could really use him, and a team that is a contender. The only way that the Nets get him is if he is bought out, because if he's bought out, then he gets to choose where he goes. And so, he would play for probably the minimum, and the Nets could afford him. He could go to the Los Angeles Lakers, Andre Drummond. Andre Drummond could go to, the Miami Heat. He could go to the Dallas Mavericks. He could go to the Portland Trailblazers. We could see Blake Griffin go to the Boston Celtics, the Heat, the Lakers, Dallas, again, Portland. I think those are the teams that I would be really excited if they got one of these guys. Obviously Blake offers shooting that Drummond doesn't. Drummond is a better passer, a better rim protector. But it would just be really fun to see either of those guys on a contender. I really don't want to see a trade for either of them. And, if the Pistons are going to trade Blake Griffin, they're probably going to have to pay someone to take him off their hands. So you remember the John Wall, Russell Westbrook deal. The Wizards had to pay the Rockets to take John Wall. So, which we now know was a really stupid thing. That was a horrible trade for the Wizards. But the Wizards had to attach a first-round pick to say, we'll take another player back from you, but you will have to also get this first-round pick because it's such a bad contract. It's the same thing with the Pistons. They would have to go Blake Griffin and a first to someone just to take Blake Griffin. That's how bad his contract is. He's owed over $50 million for the rest of this season and into next year. The only teams I can think of that might want to even consider that would maybe be the Atlanta Hawks. The Hawks have just blown fourth quarter leads recently. I'm not saying Blake Griffin would be a great option for them, but I think Andre Drummond would definitely be a good option. Clint Capella is the only center who's playing well for the Hawks right now. And I think they're in 10th place now, the Atlanta Hawks. We all know that they need to win. I don't want to pat myself on the back too much, but I was the only person who was saying that their offseason wasn't great, the Atlanta Hawks. So maybe they get in on these moves. So Nathaniel Murphy is laughing at someone named Christian who said something funny. Kelly Oubre better not be traded to the Cavs, please no. Oh, I see what you're saying. the Warriors could get Andre Drummond, is what you're saying. That'd be cool. Are the Pistons the new Knicks? No, they are not at all. I think that the Pistons, if you've watched their last few games, their rookies are starting to come into their own. I believe it's Sadiq Bey is on that team. Obviously, Killian Hayes has a long way to go. He's been disappointing, but some of their other draft picks have been really good. But, we got to dip because the 5 p.m. video is going to come out here in like 10 minutes, and y'all got to get ready for that. But I think that, can you partially buy out contracts, says Phoenix? No, I mean, what you do, Phoenix, is you can settle on an agreement. Can you partially buy out contracts? You can settle on an agreement that's less than what they're owed. And so you're paying, and then they basically forfeit the rest of that money. That's all it is. But look, the kind of what I want to leave with is that neither of these guys is a game changer. Neither of these guys has ever proven to be a winner in the playoffs. This is one of those things where I just did a live video, not a real video, because neither of these guys, is someone who's going to make a big difference in the playoffs, who's going to turn a good team to a great team, or a pretty, decent contender into a legit threat to the Lakers. Neither of these guys is that. So I didn't want to waste a full real video on this. I just want to go live and just talk about it, talk it through, put down my thoughts, and see what you guys had to say. So, it's fun. They're big names, but both of these guys is the classic example of a guy whose name and reputation is bigger than his actual production on the court. Neither guy can back it up. I think Blake, I don't know how many times he was an all-star, but Andre Drummond was a 2-time all-star. And there's a reason why the Cavaliers were able to acquire Andre Drummond for a second-round pick, and no contender swooped in to get him. Part of the reason was because they could absorb his salary, but that says a lot about what really smart basketball people and GMs think about Andre Drummond. So, welcome to AM Hooper. I think that means you're a new member. Wow. That's awesome. Usman Qureshi. Hey, man, thank you. What's up? Do you have a question or anything? That was crazy. I've never seen that before. Usman, right, Nate? My boy. All right, guys, so that's it. Neither guy is a needle mover, a big difference in the playoffs, and both of them should probably be buyout candidates, which means they can choose where they want to go, and they'll probably go to the Lakers, the Nets, one of these teams. So it'll be interesting. I really hope that the Raptors don't trade for Drummond. I really hope not. I hate to say it, but I really hope so. Unless Usman has a question, I think we're done. Do you like Ireland? Ross says. Ross, I think like half Irish. I told a guy from England that one time, and he said, no, dude, you're American. You're not Irish. I'm like, yeah, you're right. All right, so I guess that's it, y'all. How old am I? 34. Can't believe that. What about Vucevic trade to the Raptors or Celtics? Well, Phoenix, why don't you watch today's video? You'll see. Okay, guys, it was fun hanging out. Usman, thank you so much for being a new member. Plenty of channel perks. Early access to videos. I dropped tomorrow's video yesterday. There are 2 behind-the-scenes videos that have... I am 34, Jonathan. There are 2 behind-the-scenes videos that have dropped already. DMs are open. We have a Discord server. We have a Discord server just for members. What about Blake to the Warriors? Yes, absolutely. Blake to the Warriors is a possibility if he gets bought out. And, again, Blake can decide where he wants to go. To me, don't you think Blake would want to go back to LA? I mean, he was in his element in LA. Like, not only was he a good player, but he was, I don't want to say a celebrity. He was in a lot of commercials, and he was doing stand-up comedy. Blake feels like an LA guy. So what's the Discord server, Justin? Are you kidding, dude? I'm going to do a new post about the Discord server, Justin, right now. All right, y'all are the best. The best. Thank you so much. Check out today's video dropping in 7 minutes later.